pada umumnya, seperti itu. Jadi disarankan jangan khusus perekrut aja, kecuali kalau memang kamu itu adalah experience hire, seperti punya pengalaman dan kalian itu untuk senior level atau managerial level, kalian bisa menggunakan fitur ini. Tapi kalian akan menggunakan semua anggota LinkedIn, di mana semua anggota LinkedIn itu bisa melihat kalau kamu tuh open to work. Berarti semua anggota LinkedIn itu tidak terbatas pada recruiter aja, melainkan anggota pada umumnya atau pengguna pada umumnya juga bisa melihat bahwasanya kamu terbuka untuk bekerja atau open to work. Jadi di sini tidak terbatas pada LinkedIn recruiter, melainkan sudah secara umum di LinkedIn pada umumnya, seperti itu. Jadi silakan tinggal kalian sesuaikan dan pilih sesuai dengan kebutuhan. Jangan sampai salah di sini. Kalau misalkan kalian fresh graduate, kalian mencari pekerjaan secara aktif, aku sarankan kalian menggunakan yang semua anggota LinkedIn. Karena memang tidak semua recruiter itu menggunakan platform LinkedIn recruiter. Dan perusahaan banyak, company itu banyak, ada perusahaan yang udah multinasional, ada yang baru merintis, barangkali ada yang ngekontak kalian dari perusahaan yang baru merintis, dan ya kalau dari budget itu kan memang belum ada untuk LinkedIn biasanya, jadi pada menggunakan LinkedIn pada umumnya, tidak menggunakan LinkedIn versi recruiter seperti itu. Jadi langkah baiknya adalah semua anggota LinkedIn lalu tekan simpan. Oke, nah di sini ada yang kedua. Di sini kamu ingin memposting nggak kalau misalkan kamu open to work atau terbuka untuk bekerja? Kalau misalkan mau diposting, mulai buat posting. Kalau misalkan enggak, ya enggak, kayak gitu ya. Cuma gitu aja. Nah, karena aku milihnya enggak ya, jadi otomatis enggak aku posting di timeline seperti itu. Nah, otomatis nanti akan berubah menjadi bingkainya seperti ini, open to work, dan ini bisa dilihat oleh semua orang visible. Jadi sangat mudah banget bagaimana cara mengaplikasikan open to work. Sementara untuk menggantinya lagi tinggal klik aja, lalu klik bingkai dan kembalikan ke format yang asli. Lalu terapkan, dan di sini apakah kamu ingin hapus open to work-nya dari profil secara keseluruhan atau hapus dengan perekrut aja kayak gitu ya. Tinggal ini hapus keseluruhan aja lah. Oke, simpan. Oke, begitu sangat mudah banget bagaimana cara mengubah profil menjadi open to work di LinkedIn. Kalian bisa ikuti beberapa langkah atau poin-poin tadi yang udah aku sampaikan. Bahwasanya ini sangat mudah dan bisa diaplikasikan di berbagai macam platform, baik itu laptop, komputer, aplikasi, ataupun di browser kalian mengakses LinkedIn secara langsung. Jangan lupa tonton video yang lain di Hami Teknologi, karena channel ini membahas tentang tips karir dan tips teknologi lainnya. Apabila dari kalian ada yang ingin ditanyakan, silakan drop aja di kolom komentar, nanti kita discuss bareng. Apabila video ini bermanfaat, jangan lupa subscribe channel Hami Teknologi, karena channel ini membahas tentang tips teknologi, biar kalian semua nggak gaptek. Baik, terima kasih sudah menonton video kali ini, dan sampai jumpa di video yang lain. See you! Kamu terus-terusan nerima email dari LinkedIn yang bisa dikatakan sangat mengganggu. Nah, kamu bisa melakukan unsubscribe mengenai email LinkedIn yang datang terkirim di akun email kamu. Lalu bagaimana caranya? Itu adalah salah satu preferensi yang kita dapatkan atau yang bisa kita manage sebagai pengguna LinkedIn, di mana kita bisa mengatur email apa aja yang dikirimkan oleh LinkedIn kepada kita. Kalau misalkan email itu berupa promosi atau hal-hal email yang nggak penting, itu kita bisa unsubscribe sekaligus. Bagaimana caranya? Kita bisa langsung masuk ke akun email milik kita di Gmail atau email yang terdaftar di LinkedIn milik kalian. Oke, di sini tinggal kita ketikkan aja LinkedIn kayak gini. Kita bisa filter beberapa email yang kemungkinan itu nggak diperlukan atau nggak butuh oleh kita gitu ya. Di sini ada banyak nih email dari LinkedIn. Ada di sini, ada misalkan ada muncul di dalam 63 pencarian. Terus juga ada yang ingin terhubung. Terus ada misalkan untuk menambahkan atau add mengenai koneksi lain yang mungkin itu nggak akan sedikit banyak bermanfaat bagi kita, dan itu nggak penting menurut kita seperti itu ya. Misalkan salah satu contohnya seperti ini, kita klik salah satu contohnya. Oke, ini adalah salah satu emailnya. Tinggal kalian scroll ke bawah atau gulir ke bawah aja. Ini bisa kalian lakukan di platform komputer, laptop, smartphone, aplikasi kalian, email di HP kalian. Kalau udah di scroll atau gulir ke bawah, nanti akan ketemu nih bagian ujungnya. Bagian ujungnya ini adalah bagian footer. Footer emailnya adalah seperti ini. Tinggal kalian klik berhenti berlangganan, atau di sini biasanya tulisannya unsubscribe seperti itu. Tinggal klik ini aja, berhenti berlangganan. Nanti kalian akan otomatis dialihkan atau di redirect ke suatu tampilan seperti ini. Dan ini adalah notifikasinya berbunyi Anda sudah berhenti berlangganan. Anda tidak akan menerima email lagi dari LinkedIn tentang saran koneksi baru. Nah, email tersebut adalah mengenai saran koneksi baru. Kalau ini nggak penting, nggak terlalu bermanfaat bagi kalian, kalian bisa unsubscribe mengenai email tersebut. Tinggal kita nanti bisa melakukan yang namanya preferensi email untuk kita dapatkan email dari platform LinkedIn itu. Bagaimana caranya? Tinggal kita klik yang namanya kelola pengaturan email lainnya. Jadi ini jangan di close dulu, tapi kita klik kelola pengaturan email lainnya. Oke, nanti akan diarahkan ke suatu laman atau halaman. Di sini ada pengaturan mengenai notifikasi atau notification, yang mana notifikasi ini akan dikirimkan kepada email yang terdaftar di akun LinkedIn milik kita. Di sini ada banyak notifikasi nih, ada mencari pekerjaan, merekrut seseorang, terhubung dengan orang lain, memposting dan mengomentari, pesan, grup, halaman, dan hingga verifikasi. Kalian bisa lihat ini adalah notifikasi-notifikasi yang Anda terima. Di sini ada bagiannya. Sebagai salah satu contoh adalah untuk mencari pekerjaan di sini. Oke, kalau misalkan kita klik di sini adalah untuk notifikasi mencari pekerjaan itu aktif. Jadi semuanya itu aktif ya. Di sini ada dalam bentuk push, dalam aplikasi, dan juga email. Oke, kembali. Terus juga misalkan ada memposting dan mengomentari, ini aktif juga. Kalau misalkan kalian ingin nonaktifkan, misalkan ya menghadiri acara. Nah, ini menghadiri acara itu kita nonaktifkan, tinggal klik ini aja, otomatis nonaktif. Jika Anda mengaktifkan notifikasi, Anda dapat memilih notifikasi yang relevan. Nah, kita bisa memilih yang mana aja nih. Misalkan kita cuma ingin menyalakan yang undangan aja, berarti ini diaktifkan. Lalu untuk sub yang lain, misalkan seperti pengingat, itu kita nonaktifkan semua. Terus misalkan update peserta acara nonaktifkan semua, dan lain sebagainya gitu. Nah, ini kan ada nih tadi contohnya, notifikasi dalam aplikasi nonaktif, kalau yang email aktif. Nah, seperti itu. Jadi kita bisa mengubah atau mengatur preferensi email yang dikirimkan oleh LinkedIn kepada email kita yang terdaftar di LinkedIn tersebut. Jadi jangan bingung, jangan resah, di sini bahwasanya ada fitur yang namanya berhenti berlangganan agar tidak berulang kali memperoleh email yang sama di lain waktu dari LinkedIn itu sendiri. Sangat mudah banget bagaimana cara unsubscribe atau berhenti berlangganan email dari LinkedIn itu sendiri. Jangan lupa tonton video yang lain di Home Teknologi, karena channel ini membahas tentang tips karir dan tips teknologi lainnya. Apabila dari kalian ada yang ingin ditanyakan, silakan drop aja di kolom komentar, nanti kita discuss bareng. Apabila video ini bermanfaat, jangan lupa subscribe channel Home Teknologi, karena channel ini membahas tentang tips teknologi biar kalian semua gak gaptek. Baik, terima kasih sudah menonton video kali ini dan sampai jumpa di video yang lain. See you. Cara mudah untuk menambahkan LinkedIn profile di bio Instagram. Bagaimana caranya? Nah, agar bisa terlihat lebih profesional, kita bisa menaruh atau menempatkan LinkedIn profile atau URL LinkedIn milik kita di bio Instagram. Nah, di sini ada beberapa macam tahapan yang perlu kalian perhatikan ataupun siapkan untuk bisa lebih mudah menempatkan profil LinkedIn secara URL di bio Instagram. Bagaimana? Oke, silakan kalian coba buka aplikasi LinkedIn-nya atau kalian coba buka web browser. Kali ini saya contohkan melalui web browser. Nah, silakan kalau misalkan LinkedIn kalian itu sudah terindeks di Google, maka kalian bisa cari di Google. Saya juga sudah menyediakan mengenai video tentang bagaimana cara memunculkan LinkedIn agar tertampil atau terindeks di Google tersebut. Tinggal kita cari aja sesuai nama kita. Oke, nah nanti akan muncul profil LinkedIn. Kita pilih yang website LinkedIn-nya, kita coba klik yang paling atas. Oke, nah ini sudah muncul mengenai profil LinkedIn milik saya. Kalau udah tinggal kita copy pada bagian search bar, yakni yang ada di bagian atas biasanya untuk Android. Kalau di iPhone itu di bagian bawah ini, tinggal kita klik. Nah, ini adalah URL LinkedIn milik kita. Tinggal kita salin, oke. Salin, oke, kita tekan X. Nah, ini kalau misalkan mau dilihat dulu ya. Oke, kayak gitu. Oke, setelah sudah disalin mengenai URL profil LinkedIn milik kita, tinggal kita masuk ke Instagram. Oke, kita masuk ke Instagram. Setelah itu, kalau misalkan sudah, masuk ke bagian tab menu profil yang ada di pojok kanan bawah. Oke, nah kalau sudah masuk ke tampilan profil seperti ini, silakan tinggal ketik edit pada tombol edit profil ya. Oke, nah kalau sudah seperti ini, pilih yang tautan atau links pada bagian ini nih. Nah, kalau sudah seperti ini, tinggal kita tambahkan tautan eksternal atau add external links. Oke, kita masukkan linknya atau URL-nya, kita tinggal paste, tekan paste atau tempel. Oke, lalu kita masukkan judulnya, LinkedIn. Kalau sudah seperti ini, tinggal kita tekan selesai pada bagian pojok kanan atas. Oke, nah sudah muncul tautannya ada dua, ada profil Facebook dan juga ada LinkedIn. Tinggal kita back lagi. Nah, di sini akan muncul dua macam tautan atau link yang sudah berhasil disisipkan. Kalau misalkan di sini nggak ada tautan profil Facebook, nanti di sini akan muncul langsung LinkedIn seperti itu ya. Karena kebetulan di sini saya memasukkan dua URL atau dua tautan, ada Facebook dan juga ada LinkedIn, tinggal kita klik aja. Nah, nanti akan muncul seperti ini. Ada yang profil Facebook, dan ada juga yang LinkedIn. Semudah itu sebenarnya untuk menempatkan URL atau tautan URL LinkedIn profile ke dalam bio Instagram dengan sangat mudah. Nah, kalau misalkan sudah seperti ini ya, tinggal kita sebagai salah satu personal branding seperti itu. Kalau misalkan ada orang atau teman yang stalk di akun IG profil milik kita, bisa melihat mengenai tautan yang sudah kita bikin di Facebook. Di sini ada profil Facebook dan juga ada profil LinkedIn-nya. Sangat mudah banget, tinggal kita copy mengenai URL LinkedIn profile yang ada di web browser atau di aplikasi LinkedIn. Kalau sudah, tinggal di copy aja kayak gini. Kalau sudah, kita masuk ke Instagram di profil dan nanti kita tempatkan edit profil dan nanti kita taruh pada bagian bio seperti ini. Sangat mudah banget bagaimana cara menambahkan URL LinkedIn profile di bio Instagram dengan sangat mudah. Apabila dari kalian ada yang ingin tanyakan, silahkan drop aja di kolom komentar. Nanti kita discuss bareng. Apabila video ini bermanfaat, jangan lupa subscribe channel Huam Teknologi karena channel ini membahas tentang tips LinkedIn dan tips teknologi lainnya. Baik, terima kasih sudah menonton video kali ini dan sampai jumpa di video yang lain. See you. Oke, kali ini kita akan mencoba untuk menambahkan sertifikat yang kita dapatkan, baik itu secara kelas online, offline, ataupun apapun itu, yang bisa kita upload atau unggah di platform LinkedIn ini. Nah, gunanya mengunggah sertifikat di LinkedIn ini nantinya agar profil kita semakin menarik, agar semakin banyak dilihat, dan bisa memperbesar kemungkinan untuk direkrut oleh HR maupun talent acquisition dari suatu company. Oke, bagi kalian yang masih pemula atau yang masih awam, untuk menambahkan sertifikat ini sangat mudah banget. Ini bisa dilakukan di smartphone, aplikasi, di laptop, komputer sekalipun. Baik, silakan kalian masuk ke profil kalian seperti ini. Ikuti saja langkah-langkahnya. Kalian masuk ke profil kalian ya. Oke, setelah itu silakan kalian scroll atau gelir ke bawah. Di sini kalian cari yang namanya sertifikat. Dia ada di bagian bawah, lisensi dan sertifikasi. Oke, setelah itu kita di sini bisa menambahkannya atau add gitu ya. Oke, sebelum kita lanjut jangan lupa subscribe channel Huam Teknologi karena channel ini membahas tentang tips LinkedIn dan tips karir lainnya. Oke, nah di sini kita bisa menambahkan berbagai macam jenis sertifikat, baik itu sertifikat TOEFL, sertifikat yang didapat secara online, katakanlah dari My Skill, Skill Academy, Classwork, ataupun di bidang IT, di bidang marketing, atau dari perusahaan kalian yang menerbitkan sertifikat pengembangan skill, kalian bisa unggah atau upload di sini. Di sini kita coba untuk tambahkan lisensi atau sertifikasinya. Nama sertifikasinya itu apa? Nama sertifikasinya kebetulan saya ingin contohkan dari MySkill ini. Kita coba. Nama sertifikasinya adalah Introduction to FMCG Industry. To FMCG Industry. And the role of sales. Setelah itu kita cari penerbitnya. Siapa yang menerbitkan sertifikat ini adalah MySkill dari perusahaan yang menerbitkan ini. Tanggal terbitnya itu adalah 29 Maret 2024. Oke, 29 Maret 2024. Jadi kita pakainya adalah bulan dan tahun. Tanggal kedaluarsanya di sini itu tidak ada tanggal kedaluarsanya, maka dilewati saja. ID kredensialnya kalau misalkan ada silakan diisi, biasanya itu adalah nomor sertifikat. Nah, di sini ada. Biasanya ada di bagian atas juga ya nomor sertifikatnya di bagian atas ini. Kalau misalkan ikut seminar, workshop atau dan lain sebagainya. Lalu URL kredensial. Kebetulan ini adalah URL-nya. Tinggal kita copy, klik kanan, copy dan kita paste di sini. Oke. Nah, setelah sertifikatnya berhasil kita isi, maka tidak berhenti sampai situ, tapi kita harus menambahkan keahlian. Ini sebagai salah satu kunci penting ya, sertifikat kalian itu membahas tentang apa seperti itu. Karena di sini adalah Introduction to FMCG Industry and the Role of Sales, maka di sini adalah terkait fast moving consumer good. Oke, kita tambahkan lagi. Di sini ada terkait sales juga. Maka kita tambahkan sales. Salesnya lebih ke sales operation, sales management juga, atau direct sales juga bisa. Dan di sini terkait sedikit mengenai marketing atau pemasaran. Jadi lebih ke B2C bisa. Marketingnya adalah marketing direct marketing. Oke, nah ini kalau misalkan mau menambah media atau mau yang diupload seperti dokumen ini mau diupload sertifikatnya silakan. Ini bisa di-download lalu nanti diunggah ke sini, bisa gambar, dokumen, website atau presentasi. Kalau tidak bisa langsung klik simpan. Oke, nanti kalau misalkan mau membagikan silakan klik berikutnya. Ini bagikan di timeline ya, kalau nggak merasa perlu lewati aja. Dan nanti sertifikat itu akan langsung muncul di bagian atas. Jadi langsung diurutkan berdasarkan dari tanggal yang terakhir atau tanggal yang terbaru. Jadi tanggal yang terbaru itu akan muncul pada bagian atas ini. Introduction to FMCG Industry and the Role of Sales. Dan yang paling akhir ini adalah yang paling lama. Junior Office Operator Kementerian Komunikasi dan Informatika di September 2020. Dan ini yang terbaru. Kita bisa melihat kredensialnya. Nanti akan dialihkan seperti ini. Nah, kalian bisa mengupload atau mengunggah sebanyak-banyak mungkin sertifikasi yang ada. Kebetulan saya sering mengikuti kelas online, jadi di sini ada banyak sertifikasi dan kebetulan skill-skill tersebut masih saya ingat dan saya implementasikan hingga saat ini, baik itu secara individu ataupun di perusahaan atau company seperti itu. Jadi banyak sertifikat yang bisa kita upload dari platform MySkill, platform Skill Academy, Skillwork, skill pengembangan diri lainnya atau kelas online yang lainnya. Jadi bisa kalian tambahkan secara manual dan nanti otomatis akan ditambahkan pada bagian bawah seperti ini. Sangat mudah banget, sangat simpel banget untuk menambahkan lisensi dan sertifikasi ini, yang mana ini cocok digunakan sebagai personal branding baik kalian seorang mahasiswa, fresh graduate, atau seorang pencari kerja seperti itu ya. Jadi sangat simpel dan sangat mudah banget. Apabila dari kalian ada yang ingin tanyakan, silahkan drop aja di kolom komentar. Nanti kita discuss bareng. Apabila video ini bermanfaat, jangan lupa subscribe channel Huam Teknologi, karena channel ini membahas tentang tips LinkedIn dan tips karir lainnya. Baik, terima kasih sudah menonton video kali ini, dan sampai jumpa di video yang lain. See you! Ada beberapa cara mudah agar fresh graduate bisa mendapatkan pekerjaan melalui platform LinkedIn. Nah, bagi kalian yang memang baru lulus dan kalian adalah seorang fresh graduate yang baru pertama kali ingin mencoba mencari pekerjaan di LinkedIn, di sini ada beberapa tips penting yang perlu kalian perhatikan agar bisa mendapatkan pekerjaan di LinkedIn. Dan ini didasarkan dari 100% pengalaman pribadi. Saya beberapa kali juga di-approach oleh HR ataupun talent acquisition di LinkedIn. Bahkan saya juga mendapatkan pekerjaan di LinkedIn itu sendiri. Lalu bagaimana caranya? Di sini ada 4 poin penting terkait bagaimana cara mendapatkan atau cara mencari kerja di LinkedIn yang nggak semua fresh graduate, nggak semua orang juga ketahui. Bagaimana caranya? Oke, langsung aja. Silakan kalian coba buka LinkedIn-nya. Untuk LinkedIn ini silakan bisa kalian buka di aplikasi desktop ataupun mobile ataupun di aplikasi kalian juga silakan. Di sini akan kita jabarkan 4 poin utama atau 4 poin penting bagaimana cara mudah untuk mendapatkan pekerjaan di LinkedIn. Yang pertama adalah kita harus mengikuti atau follow mengenai perusahaan-perusahaan terkait. Katakanlah di sini kita ingin coba cari perusahaan Indofood. Misalkan seperti itu ya. Oke, lalu nanti kita coba untuk scroll atau geser ke menu perusahaan atau company ini. Oke, nah nanti kalau misalkan sudah muncul hasil pencarian seperti ini, silakan kalian ikuti saja perusahaan tersebut. Kalian ikuti. Nah, oke. Biasanya hal yang paling penting mengapa kita harus mengikuti atau follow perusahaan atau company profile di LinkedIn ini adalah kebanyakan perusahaan itu akan men-share atau membagikan informasi karir atau lowongan kerja melalui platform akun mereka secara langsung. Katakanlah di sini di bagian posting atau di bagian pekerjaan juga biasanya ada. Nah, di sini dia memberitahukan terkait ada website e-recruitment Indofood. Di sini juga share terkait hal penting. Ada juga di bagian pekerjaan kalau misalkan nggak ada. Nah, nanti kalau misalkan nggak ada seperti ini. Coba kita lihat perusahaan yang lain. Katakanlah di sini ada Wings. Kita masuk. Nah, di sini dia di bagian posting. Untuk perusahaan Wings ini biasanya mengupload. Nah, seperti ini. Recruitment Festival di Jogja dan Semarang bisa kalian ikuti. Terus juga ada share terkait. Nah, seperti ini. Konten-konten mereka. Nah, ini dia membagikan mengenai lowongan pekerjaan. Itu yang pertama. Yang kedua adalah kita harus mencoba untuk terkonek atau memfollow recruiter ataupun HRD. Oke, bagaimana caranya? Kalian coba buka aja di situs desktop. Biasanya di sini tampilannya lebih variatif, lebih kompleks dan kita bisa coba untuk ikuti. Kalian bisa ikuti di sini nih, di bagian sidebar sebelah kanan, di sini lihat semua rekomendasi. Nah, kalian bisa coba untuk cari bagaimana caranya untuk terkonek atau terhubung dengan recruiter ataupun HRD. Silahkan kalian scroll ke bawah, kulihat ke bawah. Nah, di sini katakanlah ada HRGA, Generalist Supervisor di Sosiologi. Silahkan kalian ikuti. Atau kalian ingin bekerja di industri IT, di sini ada Tech Recruiter, Neobank. Silakan ikuti juga. Di sini juga ada talent acquisition juga, silakan kalian ikuti. Di sini ada recruiter ya, talent acquisition, hiring all position, ikuti aja. Di sini juga ada HR dari iNews, silakan kalian ikuti. Nah, nanti sistemnya itu seperti itu. Jadi kalian bisa mengikuti atau terhubung dengan recruiter ataupun HRD karena biasanya mereka juga hubung dengan recruiter. Apapun caranya, bagaimanapun caranya, di sini ada banyak menunya, silahkan kalian tinggal explore saja. Biasanya juga ada muncul di feed atau timeline yang sedang share lowongan kerja. Katakanlah di sini. Nah, ini akun perusahaan ya. Tadi yang pertama sudah kita jelaskan ini dia juga HRBP, Human Resource Business Partner. Silakan kalian coba tekan terhubung saja kayak gitu ya. Nah, oke, nanti tinggal menunggu accept ataupun konfirmasi dari yang bersangkutan. Itu adalah poin yang kedua. Lantas bagaimana di poin yang ketiga dan poin yang keempat? Sebelum kita lanjut, jangan lupa subscribe channel Huam Teknologi terlebih dahulu karena channel ini membahas tentang tips LinkedIn dan tips karir lainnya. Subscribe dulu ya. Dan di sini ada poin kedua yang penting terakhir. Itu poin ketiga dan juga poin keempat, yakni adalah disesuaikan dengan skill atau kebutuhan ataupun kemampuan kalian. Katakanlah kalian itu pro di bidang marketing, maka di sini cari aja hiring marketing atau loker marketing atau lowongan kerja marketing. Itu adalah kata kuncinya. Jadi kalian bisa tuliskan hiring marketing, loker marketing atau lowongan kerja marketing. Silakan kalian tekan enter, nanti akan terlihat di beberapa bagian. Oke. Nah, di sini kita masuk ke bagian posting. Biasanya ada HR yang membuat posting terkait marketing itu sendiri. Ini biasanya lebih ke internasional ya. Oke. Nah, ini ada HR atau talent acquisition yang men-share digital marketing training. F&B marketing manager ini di Portugal. Nah, di sini nih ada PT Sona Medica Jaya, tapi dia share-nya produk spesialis. Ini ada B2B company marketing. Ada marketing operation associate ini di India. Atau kalian mau lebih spesifik juga boleh hiring marketing Jakarta. Nanti silakan kalian masuk bagian posting. Nah, di sini ada international marketing manager di headquarter Jakarta penempatannya. Ada juga marketing campaign. Ada sales and marketing OSL Jaya Indonesia. Ada juga engagement support coordinator. Ini salary-nya hingga 8 juta ya, berdasarkan dari kemampuan. Ada chief marketing officer. Nah, kayak gitu ya. Jadi sangat mudah banget untuk mencari lowongan pekerjaan dari LinkedIn itu sendiri berdasarkan dari postingan para HR ataupun postingan dari HRD yang share di LinkedIn. Itu adalah poin yang ketiga. Lalu poin yang keempat itu bagaimana? Poin yang keempat itu nggak jauh beda dari poin yang ketiga, dimana kita mencari berdasarkan kata kunci untuk mencari pekerjaan atau lowongan pekerjaan yang available. Katakanlah kalau tadi marketing, kita coba untuk cari loker, katakanlah social media spesialis. Ini berkaitan dengan kalian yang memiliki skill atau kemampuan di bidang social media, bukan hanya administrasi saja, tapi bagaimana cara kalian itu meraih engagement tinggi, kalian melakukan campaign, baik itu secara original ataupun secara paid, berbayar gitu ya. Nah, setelah muncul, setelah di enter, bukan masuk ke bagian posting, bukan. Ini tadi poin yang ketiga, tapi kita masuknya ke bagian pekerjaan. Oke. Nah, nanti akan muncul beberapa pekerjaan yang relevan. Ada digital marketing spesialis dari PT Tiar Namura Inovasi. Nah, marketing spesialis, ada sosial media spesialis nih. Dari Roketindo, ada social media officer, ada social media marketing spesialis yang secara remote. Silahkan kalian klik aja dan baca nanti untuk sekilas ringkasan atau overview-nya. Ada senior social media spesialis di Bukalapak. Ini kalau misalkan kalian sudah berpengalaman, kalian bisa masuk ke posisi senior. Dan masih banyak lagi yang lain. Ada juga KOL, Key Opinion Leader. Nah, ada social media and live stream officer. Ada social media officer dari Something Beauty Howl. Ada digital performance marketing specialist dari Gojek, dan silakan kalian bisa, kalau misalkan cocok, kalian bisa langsung melamar mudah atau apply easy. Kayak gitu ya. Jadi sangat mudah banget bagaimana cara agar LinkedIn itu memudahkan kita sebagai pencari kerja, khususnya fresh graduate, untuk mendapatkan pekerjaan pertama dengan sangat simpel dan sangat mudah berdasarkan dari 4 poin tadi. Jadi jangan sia-siakan 4 poin tadi, jangan sia-siakan. LinkedIn harus bisa manfaatkan semaksimal mungkin, dan kalian harus senantiasa update profile LinkedIn kalian agar bisa di reach out oleh HR ataupun talent acquisition yang sedang membutuhkan kandidat secara cepat. Baik, begitu bagaimana caranya agar kita bisa memperoleh pekerjaan dengan mudah atau cepat melalui platform LinkedIn yang bisa dilakukan oleh para fresh graduate. Jika dari kalian ada yang ingin tanyakan, silakan drop aja di kolom komentar, nanti kita discuss bareng. Apabila video ini bermanfaat, jangan lupa subscribe channel UAM Teknologi, karena channel ini membahas tentang tips LinkedIn dan tips karir lainnya. Baik, terima kasih sudah menonton video kali ini, dan sampai jumpa di video yang lain. Cara mudah untuk memasukkan pengalaman organisasi di LinkedIn. Bagi kalian yang merupakan masih mahasiswa atau masih bersekolah atau fresh graduate yang sedang melakukan mempercantik LinkedIn melalui LinkedIn ini bisa dijadikan sebagai personal branding. Kalian bisa salah satunya untuk memasukkan informasi pengalaman organisasi yang pernah kalian ikuti. Lalu bagaimana cara untuk memasukkan pengalaman organisasi tersebut? Jika memang kalian baru pertama kali menggunakan LinkedIn dan masih bingung, ikuti beberapa tips atau tahapan di video berikut agar kalian bisa memasukkan pengalaman organisasi dengan optimal. Oke, langsung saja silakan kalian buka LinkedIn kalian, bisa diakses di desktop, mobile, ataupun aplikasi yang kalian unduh di App Store ataupun Play Store. Setelah itu, silakan kalian masuk bagian profile di sini di pojok kanan atas, silakan kalian sesuaikan aja sesuai dari tampilan masing-masing device. Lalu setelah itu melihat profil. Oke, di sini ada poin penting yang perlu kalian perhatikan. Untuk organisasi itu bukan diinput atau dimasukkan ke dalam pengalaman. Karena pengalaman di sini itu masuknya adalah seperti ini. Kalau misalkan pengalaman, dia itu hanya untuk ini nih. Nah, untuk full time, ada part time, ada wira swasta, ada pekerja lepas, ada kontrak, magang, dan juga musiman atau seasonal. Di situ nggak ada organisasi, maka jangan masukkan di bagian pengalaman. Tapi silakan masukkan ke bagian paling bawah. Di sini ada organisasi. Oke, silakan kalian cari. Kalau misalkan tidak ada, silakan kalian masuk ke sini nih. Biasanya akan muncul. Nah, di sini tambah bagian profile. Oke, nah di sini silakan kalian masuk ke bagian yang ini. Oke, pada menu tambahan di sini ada 3 menu, ada inti, ada direkomendasikan, ada tambahan. Silakan kalian pilih atau klik tambahan. Lalu di sini pilih yang tambah organisasi. Oke, silakan kalian masukkan nama organisasi. Syukur-syukur organisasi tersebut ada di dalam LinkedIn. Di sini nanti akan muncul, tapi kalau tidak ada ya sudah seperti ini aja. Oke, posisi yang dipegang adalah apa? Silakan masukkan posisi kalian. Terkait dengan, kalau misalkan di sini ada hal-hal yang terkait dengan organisasi kalian, silakan pilih. Tapi kalau nggak ada, silakan skip aja. Dan di sini kalau misalkan masih menjadi anggota, nanti otomatis untuk tanggal berakhirnya itu akan di lock. Tapi kalau misalkan sudah berakhir, jadi silakan kalian masukkan. Jadi kalian ingat-ingat ya, kalian itu di organisasi tersebut dari bulan berapa, tahun berapa, dan sampai bulan berapa, dan juga tahun berapa. Oke, silakan kalian masukkan deskripsi atau silakan kalian masukkan job deskripsinya di sini. Oke, kebetulan saya sudah menuliskan dan di sini ada dimulai dari bulan Juli 2020 sampai Januari 2021 itu menjadi staff program. Lalu di sini diangkat menjadi Director of PGA pada Januari 2021 sampai Desember 2021. Oke, kalau misalkan sudah, silakan kalian review kembali, kalian lihat kembali. Kalau misalkan sudah, kalian simpan atau save. Oke, nanti akan ada muncul berhasil disimpan dan silakan kalian scroll atau gulir ke bawah, biasanya akan tertampil pada bagian bawah. Nah, di sini, di bagian organisasi. Jadi bukan dimasukkan di bagian pengalaman ini ya, jangan sampai salah kaprah, tapi dimasukkan ke bagian organisasi yang ada di sini. Oke, jadi sudah sangat jelas bagaimana cara memasukkan pengalaman organisasi di aplikasi LinkedIn ini. Tentunya kalian harus tambah pada bagian profil terlebih dahulu, lalu nanti tambahkan atau input organisasi yang pernah kalian ikuti. Sangat mudah banget, sangat simpel banget bagaimana cara memasukkan organisasi di platform LinkedIn sebagai salah satu personal branding milik kalian. Apabila dari kalian ada yang ingin tanyakan, silahkan drop aja di kolom komentar, nanti kita discuss bareng. Apabila video ini bermanfaat, jangan lupa subscribe channel UM Teknologi, karena channel ini membahas tentang tips LinkedIn dan tips karir lainnya. Baik, terima kasih sudah menonton video kali ini, dan sampai jumpa di video yang lain.
Before you get into the learning zone from JSS instructors, you should be asking yourself a question: why do you need to learn about CMD? First, you're going to come across this type of writings and descriptions. So number one, we're trying to teach you the skills so you can get confident with these descriptions. So one is simply you're countering the descriptions, right? You're getting more confident. The second reason is that it doesn't matter what level you are on in IT, whether you're a help desk, whether you are that extreme master level engineer, you still need to know about CMD. Ping is something that you're gonna do almost on daily basis if you're working at the engineer level, working with Cisco routers or switches, working with servers, working with whatever you can name it in front of me. Even at cloud level, you're going to come across command line. Now, there are different type of command lines. We know that, we understand that. There are more advanced things going on in the market right now. Like for example, a lot of people will suggest you, well, if you're learning about CMD, then just go straight to PowerShell. We don't do that in these type of trainings because our goal is start from something that is heavily being used in reality. And then if you want to learn something more advanced, then tackle that later on. So if you're new, you're going to learn about CMD first. It's going to give you the idea. It's going to show you how easy it is to use a command line, and then you move on to something more advanced. Because that's how it's designed. Things are designed from little basics to more advanced later on. So it's important for you to learn CMD because you're going to use it if you want to make your job easy. You're going to use it if you want to become a little more experienced doing things, because later on you may want to get into more command line scripting, tools like that, where you are working with cloud type of technologies and you don't want to be relying on just a web browser anymore. You want to do things from a command line. So that's later on stuff. But for now, you need to know the basics of IP config, ping, all that stuff you're going to learn from this whole course. And once you finish this course, I feel like you're going to have a very good idea, practical knowledge on how to do this. Now, if you have a lab access, sandbox lab access, if you, let's say, bought the light membership, plus membership, even premium, it doesn't matter. You have machines here, and every machine will come with a command line. So you can open a server to open a CMD, you can open a computer, but since these are domain joined machines and some are not, you can actually utilize what you learned from this course to find out about Active Directory users, informations, and expand your knowledge. This means that you have the tools, and that already comes with Active Directory and everything is in there. So then go ahead online and then try to come up with more skills and build your skills on top of what you learn from these videos. So this way you will have a very extensive knowledge on CMD. And this course will be used in multiple courses: network engineer course, sysadmin course. It doesn't matter. Every course that we teach, and that's going to be technical, you will find the same video in there. So now, instructor will take over, and good luck with this.
Hello all viewers, and we're going to start this new course named CMD, and the course name is Introduction to the CMD, Command Prompt, Why and How to Learn CMD. So throughout this course, you will find that we will show you the importance of command line, and we will also address all the answers that you raised a question about, that why we use CMD and what sort of uses we have to use CMD in our daily task, daily operation. So let's start with the basic detail about the CMD, what it is. So as you know that before operating system, the Windows operating system, we have the DOS disk operating system, and it behaves as an operating system, but what it contains, it's look like a black screen where you could type text in form of instruction. So you must know the command to run that operating system. If anybody, let's say for example, doesn't have idea or don't know about the command, so that kind of person unable to use that computer machine. So this is the basic difference between the command line and the Windows operating system, is what that in the command line you only have this black screen and where you could go with the commands with the text, and in the graphical user interface, as I'm going to show you here, you can see that this is the graphical user interface. You have Windows 10 operating system right now, and there you can see if I click on the start window, it will display multiple applications at once, and only I have to use mouse pointer to open any application, or even if I want to delete or add any files. So what I need to do is just open the file explorer, and in a glance it just open, in an instant it just open the whole directory in front of me. And that here you can see if I click to this PC and go to the C drive, so it will start showing me all the content, all the other directories that is the part of your C drive. And easily you can right click on any of the folder, any directory, and decide what you want to do with that directory. Like you can cut, copy, delete, or if you want to check the properties of that directory, you can go simply in the graphical user interface. Unlike in the command line, you need to know the command of each operation. Let's say if I open the command prompt here and just check things here. So as you can see on the command prompt that I have the administrator prompt here. Now here you can use this application by tapping the command. Let's say if I want to clear the screen, so I must know the CLS command, clear screen command. So you will find that the command line is not user friendly, but you can do a lot more things. You can even use this command line as your basic operating system. Because why I'm teaching this course, why I'm designing this course for you, because in many organizations they are moving toward the server core product. And what is the server core product? It is different with the Windows Server operating system. Here you will find the command prompt and the PowerShell. Now the question is raised, what is the PowerShell and what is the difference between the command line and the PowerShell? Let me show you how the PowerShell looks like. If I type here Windows, so it's gonna suggest me in the second option, Windows PowerShell. So the major difference you can see here is in the color. Now the color of the PowerShell is like blue, and you will find the black color in the command line, but that's not the main difference. This is the difference of color. Here you can see there's a mentioning of PS. So you can even open the PowerShell on the command line, and the way to judge that whether this is a command prompt or this is the PowerShell, you can judge with the prompt. You will find PS in the beginning that tells that this is a PowerShell mode. So if you go with the name, as the name suggests, the PowerShell, what it tells that here on the PowerShell, you can do wonders, you can manage things, you can run objects, and it is more friendly when you're running a script on your operating system. This is not being easily done on the command line. So this is the major difference, and there are so many differences between the command line and the PowerShell. But as for this introductory video, and our focus is on the command line, the CMD, so that's why we're going to explore this later. What is the major difference between the PowerShell and the command line? But as for this introductory video, you only need to know that the PowerShell allows you to run a script, and it can run different batch file by the command line because it is originated with the Microsoft company. It is designed and provided by the Microsoft. That's why it run only basic instruction. And if you further explore the differences between the PowerShell and here, so you will find that it is a task-based command line interface, and also used for a scripting environment, and it is based on .NET framework. But unlike command prompt, it is just a line interpreter for the Microsoft Windows operating system. So there are so much difference, and you can also call the commands of the PowerShell as a commandments, but in the command line, in this command prompt, the commands are just called commands. So this is the major and the basic difference, but there are a lot more differences that are just beyond this moment, beyond this video. We will discuss later. But during this course, you will find that how we are showing things to you and how we are making this thing important for you, because command line will help you in doing networking. You can do so much work, so much tasks related to the networking. Even you can fix issues, you can use the command line in hacking, and mostly you will find the command line interface in the routers in the networking sector. Here they provide the command line where you need to know such basic commands to see the router properties. And similarly, we will talk about all those commands that are used in the Windows environment in the command line to do further things like delete directory, add directory, and format partition. And there are a lot more things that we're going to cover to deal with the basic file commands, how to make folder operations, how to create folder, and how to copy files, how to move files, and how to delete files and the folder in the command prompt. So let's go back to the desktop environment and let's open the command prompt to further show you the operations and the steps. Now here I have this Windows 10 desktop machine, and here type here to search, I'm going to type cmd to show you these commands and their functions. So here, once you open the command prompt in your Windows 10, you will find that it shows the administrator prompt. Sometimes it came with the System32. That depends if you open your command prompt as the administrator privilege. Let me show you. It is a little advanced thing, but you need to know at this level. If you right click on the command prompt, so you will find this run as administrator. So this command prompt that you opens on the administrator privilege have some other powers, you could say, have some other privileges to run things, to execute files. But here, as for this lab, we're going to just focus on the copy, delete, cd, those basic commands that can easily be executable on any level, any privilege of the command prompt. So as you can see that the whole tree of the directory is the originated directory is the C, where you have your operating system. Then you have user folder, and in the user folder you have administrator folder. So this is the tree of directory. Let's say if you want to go to the user directory, right? If you want to change your current directory and you want to go to directly to the user, not to the parent directory. So the command you're going to use is cd double dot, and if you press enter, so you can see that you just directly jump to your user directory. Let's say if you are in the user directory and you want to see the content that both sort of file and folder are there in the user, so type dir and you will see the contents, the folders, the files you have in your user directory. So here you can see you have admin. Definitely this is the admin account, the administrator. This is another admin account, a new pod, Schofield, Gsfield. These all are what? The user account. This is the same folder that we access in a GUI way. Let me show you if you're getting confused. If you go to this PC and go to the C drive, and there's a user. And here you can see the list of directories, the folders that are actually the account folder. They contain all the data, all the activity does in the account, like the pictures, videos. Let's say if I open the a new pod, so you will see the content like the desktop, documents, download. So whatever the user is doing, like, you know, downloading files, making documents, or just downloading music or making pictures. So you can access all such content from your administrator account from your C drive. So this is that specific user folder that we are dealing right now in the CMD. So here, what you're going to do. So if you want to go to any of the directory here listed, so what you're going to do is just type cd space admin and press enter. So you are in this admin directory. So which command is used to go in any directory to open any folder, cd space and that specific folder name. And let's say if you want to go back to your parent directory, which is the C here, so you're going to type cd / enter. So it going to took you directly to your parent directory, which is the C. So have you got this idea? That if you want to jump directly to your parent directory, so you should use cd /. So it is simple. So let's say if I want to see the contents of the C drive, so what command I'm going to use is dir, directory, right? So here we have preferred logs, program files, users, windows. There are 3 or 4 folders here, right? So let's say if I want to go back to the user, so which command I'm going to use cd users, right? Then if I want to go to the administrator account, so what I'm going to type administrator, administrator, enter. Now you are on the administrator account. So if I want to check the directories, the subdirectories of the administrator, so I'm going to find these. So right now I want to go to the desktop to do some other stuff, cd desktop. So here you can see I am in this desktop directory. This is the same desktop you are seeing here behind the CMD application. So let's say if you want to make any new folder in the desktop, so which command you're going to use? mkdir and that specific name. Let's say I'm going to type JSS, enter. So there's a folder JSS is being created at the back of your screen, means on the desktop folder. Let's look at here, right? So if I want to go to that folder, so which command I'm going to use? cd JSS, enter. So there you go. I'm in the directory, I'm in the JSS. So it's simple. Now let's say if I want to change the name of that folder, and as you can see, if I want to go back one step back to that directory, what I did, cd ::, that means it will take me one step back directory to the JSS. So if I want to change the name of this folder, so what I'm going to type is ren space JSS, which is the previous name, and type plabs, enter. So there you go. The file name, the folder name is totally changed with the execution of enter. So that's how the command prompt works. That's how the command line works. So let's say if I want to create a new file in this JSS, in this plab, so what I'm going to do is type cd space plabs, because the file name is changed now, and let's get in that directory. Now here what I'm going to type space null greater than sign space, type the file name, and this would be jss.pptx, enter. So it's gonna create this file, and if you want to check, just type dir, and there you go. This is the file you recently created. So let's say if you want to change the file name, so you will use the command ren rename space jss.pptx space, and you could name it as plab.pptx, enter. So there you go, the file name is changed, and if you type dir, so you can easily view that file here, that the plab.pptx. So this is the change happen once you execute this rename command. Now let me show you how to copy the file, how to delete, and how to move the file. So if I want to go back one step back to that directory, I want to make another folder. So which command I'm going to use? mkdir space JSS. Now you will see another folder on your desktop, And why I created this folder to copy and move the file from plabs to JSS. Alright, so to copy the file from any folder, you must go to the CD plabs. This is the folder that contains the file, and the command I'm going to use copy space plab.pptx space and the designated folder. So you can see the fun file is copied. That's the process to copy any file from any location. Now let me show you how to delete the file. So first I will go to the dir to check the file existence. Yes, there is. One file is a plab and another file is JSS. We have two files here. So what I'm going to do is simply delete the file. Type del space plab.pptx, enter, and there you go, the file is successfully deleted. Now if I type dir to see, so there's only JSS folder here and there's no any other file located here. So here there's nothing, no any file. So let me create the file first. Type space null greater than space plab.pptx, enter. There you go, the file is created. Now it's time to move the file because we show you how to copy, how to delete, and now it's time to learn how to move the file from one folder, from one directory to another. Now there's the file and I'm going to type move space plab.pptx. Alright, pptx space, and now here I'm going to type the new folder name plabs, enter. Now the one file is move. Now here in the last, let's cover the last command, and that the command is used to remove the directory and the folder, and the command is rm. If you want to delete any directory, you should type rmdir space JSS and it will quickly delete the directory. But before that, you need to clean that directory. So let's go to that directory cd JSS and type dir to check the content. And here you have plabs file. So let's type del space plabs, enter. Now the directory is deleted. It's not the file, it's the directory. And then it's time to delete the JSS. So cd and then type rmdir space JSS, enter. And now it's gonna totally delete that directory from your desktop. How to manage tasks and services in the Windows, but by using the command line, the CMD. So let me take you to the Practice Labs portal and then show you what I'm talking about. So here I have this Windows 10 machine, and let me explain you that what is tasks and what are services. If we talk about the GUI, the graphical user interface, so if you right click on your taskbar, so you will find this task manager. And if we explore the word task means there is something going on, means you are doing something, an activity is going on in your machine. Like in your daily life, task is what you have to do, what is your intention to do something. So task is that. In the same way, in the computer system, there are a lot more tasks, a lot more services that started with the logging on of the machine. Let's say, for example, when you type your password and username to log on, there are built-in services and tasks that needs to run to show you the proper graphical user interface desktop. So right now, if you are easily watching your desktop like that, because there are a lot more services that are running in the background, and there are bunch of tasks those are also running in the background and making it possible for you to easily use this graphical user interface, because it is not the colors right now. There are a bunch of services and tasks making it possible for you to see things like that. So here in the task manager, you can see that even we didn't open any application, we didn't started anything, but there are bunch of tasks are running here and a lot of processes are going on. And these are the backup and supported tasks and services that are supporting this desktop feature, this graphical user interface thing. And if I click to the services, the last tab, so you're going to see that there are bunch of services that are running here. You can see, and couple of services are stopped and some are ready to start. But there are in the vast number services are running. Why? Because these services are running in the background and just maintaining and managing this whole user interaction based desktop. That's why all services are really needed and essential to use this graphical user interface. Now, as for this video, I'm going to show you how to manage all those tasks, services through CMD, the command line. So let me close this task manager from here, and there I'm going to type CMD, type here on search, and this time I'm going to open it as administrator privilege. Why? The question is raised why I'm opening it with the administrator privilege, because we have to deal with the services, with the tasks, and in a lot more situation you need to be the fully controller of the device. That's why we need to run as an administrator, because there are a lot more services. Windows system doesn't allow a basic user to stop or terminate that service or task. That's why we run this command prompt as an administrator privilege. So here on the command prompt, I'm going to show you the first command of this video is the task list. So if you type task list and press enter, so you will see the list in that form, and it is a copy of what you have seen in the task manager, but there you can see that it is with the black background, the white text, totally traditional command line environment. And here you can see there are a lot more services are running, and all you can see here, the extension is .exe, means the files are right now running in the execution mode, because in your desktop you always click to the executable file that's allow that application to run. And here you can see that we just opened this command prompt, and it is also visible here in the task list. That means another task is added once you run this command prompt. This command prompt process is also added to your task list. And if you scroll up to the top, so you will find the columns that will actually need to know before proceeding in this video, that the image name is what it is, the application name, but there is another thing called the PID. This is the ID we need to record when we want to terminate any service, any task here. So let me show you what I mean and how you can easily terminate and stop any service. So let me open another application and make it clear to you. Let's say if I type notepad, because I want to execute the notepad. So there you go, the notepad just appear on the screen. And then if I run the task list, and one more thing for your help, that if you want to retype the command that you actually typed, so you can use the up cursor key to go back to the previous command that you use or executed. So just type the up cursor key, and if there's a lot of commands you already use in a single command line session, so you can easily do what? Just use the up cursor key and the down cursor key, and you can easily find out the previous command that you used. Right? So let me issue this command task list, and this time we're going to find the notepad as a part of the task. And there you go, the notepad is mentioned here. So what it means that you run the notepad, you execute, and it is added in the task list. Now the thing is how to terminate and stop this notepad task with the help of command line. So we're going to type task kill space /PID, and need to notice that the notepad ID is what, and if you didn't figure out the notepad PID ID, so remove the command. So there's a command net start. If you type this command, so you will see all the working services that are running behind in the background of your desktop of your operating system. So you can see there are a lot more services, and so let's stop any service, and for that we're going to type net stop space start then with a comma and type Windows time. Right now we're just doing this experiment, so we are stopping Windows time service, and then press enter, and here it is making a attempt and it is successfully stopped. And what if you want to restart this service? So you can change this keyword stop to start, and then this service will restart immediately. So there you can see net start Windows time, and it is successfully started. So this is about the services, how you can stop and start any service in your computer system. Then the thing I need to share in the last is the driver query. There is another command, driver query. So what this command helps you, if you want to know the drivers that are installed in your computer machine, so you could easily type driver query and find out all the drivers that are running and installed in your operating system. So that's it for this video. We just covered 5 commands from task list, task kill, net start, net stop, and driver query. And along with that, the last command and really helpful is the CLS, clear the screen. If you want to clear the screen, just simply type CLS and it will clear all the stuff, all the text from your screen. And one more thing in the last, for the hint I want to provide you, is why we are using command prompt, because in the hacking side, in the ethical hacking, you will get the command line interface of your victim. So where you doesn't have the GUI based environment, so all controls and all tasks, each and every activity, if you want to perform on the victim machines, you have the command line. And in this video we're going to discuss, and I'm going to show you the basic commands to get system details and program information, and definitely those commands really going to help you to getting the details of the system. And also these commands are really helpful when it comes for the hacking. Let's say if you hack any system, any machine, and you want to see the details, so where you don't get this GUI method, this desktop screen, where these commands are really going to help you. And moreover, these commands are also helpful to do things in a quick and a fast way. So let's go back to the desktop screen, and here let's first launch the CMD from here. So what I'm tapping CMD, then right click to run as the administrator, and here just click yes to the UAC, user account access control, user access control. So here in the command prompt, we're going to start the command with the command that's gonna tell you it will create a notepad file for you, and it will analyze and detect all the softwares or the products that are installed on your machine. And after execution of this command, you will see all such details in a separate notepad file. So let's start with the command. First we're going to type WMIC, and it's gonna start another menu, another series, and here we're going to type // output. Then we're going to add column C. C would be the directory. You can change this directory as per your need. Then put column C, column backslash, and then you have to type the file name. So I'm typing JSS, then add.text, because in the command prompt you can only export the text file, the notepad file. So you definitely have to put this extension just right after the file name, and then after typing this detail, you need to add something more with in the end of the command, because we need to know the products and the software. So we're going to type product get name comma version, right? So when you press enter, it's going to collect all the products name and the details of the software, and then create a text file, and it will go to that location which you provided here. So let's press enter to execute. And once you see the next prompt, then just go to that directory and check the file. Because if you go before returning back to the prompt, you won't find anything, because you will find the text file, but it doesn't contain any content. So just wait for the next prompt and then go to that directory and check this text file. So there you can see, because this is the practice labs machine, that's why it contains little programs, some few products like Office 16 Update Assistant and the Windows 10 update. So this command is really helpful when you need to collect product details, when you want to collect some software details within your machine. Now within the same command, if you want to know your CPU details, let's say you want to know the core, the family of the processor and each and everything, so you could type CPU. But when you type WMIC command, then it will take you to this prompt, and then you can type CPU to collect the CPU details. What about your processor and how many cores and clock rate and each and everything inside out you can easily find after typing the CPU command. Now then we need to exit from this prompt. So we're going to type exit, enter, and we are written back to the normal command prompt. And here we're going to type this part. And this command also change the prompt. And here you can work out on your disk. You can find out the details of your disk, and this part section will dedicate it to know the details about your disk, to get the information about the disk, the number of disks that is currently installed in your machine. All you can gather and know from this disk part section. So the first command we're going to type is list disk. So list list disk list disk. So first, once you type this list disk command, this command will inform you, and it will provide the output about the number of disks that are currently installed. So here you can see that you have disk 0 and status online. So you have only one disk, you see, that is attached to your machine right now. So this is actually telling you that the physical disk in your machine is only one physical disk is attached. Now, if you want to further go to this disk menu, you would type select disk and the number 0. And there you go, you have a message that 0 is now selected. And from here, you can go further forward to get the details, because we want to know the details of the disk. So the command is simple, detail disk, press enter. So here you have these information, these details that tells that your single disk have 3 volume. First is for the recovery, third is the recovery. First is the basic normal volume, second is the 79 gigs, it's your C, and you're also getting the label, the file system, the type, it is mentioned that partition and the info tells one is the boot and another is the system. So this command is really helping you to know about the disk, because when you do these things with the graphical user interface, you need to go on the computer management, and then you select the disk management console to collect and gather these details. But here, with typing few keys, with pressing few keys, with typing few letters, you're getting these details without even moving your mouse and your cursor. So that's the benefit of the command line, the CMD. Now to exit from the disk pod, you're going to type exit and it will take back you on the System32 on the basic normal command prompt. Now then, there is another command related to the disk. It's the chk dsk, the check disk, and as the name suggests, this command helps you to check the errors and the issues happening within your system. And once you execute this command, it will automatically start to scan errors and the bad sectors within your disk, because when you install and delete programs from your hard drive, you see there are some spaces got corrupted, because what happens when you download or install any file in your C drive and then you start to delete, that area that is reserved for that particular application that's written back to the free space when you're deleting that stuff. But what happens when you delete that stuff and it doesn't get done correctly, by means that it doesn't delete perfectly in a correct way? So this area become bad sector, because this area enabled to change with the free space. That's why these bad sectors, when become in numbers, it will impact your disk. It will start making issues with your disk speed and other sort of things, and you will see and you will find out that your disk is full without any data. So at that moment, if you use this chk command, so it will provide you all details, and then you could easily repair your disk by adding some arguments against the command like chk c colon, and then you could put any of the argument like R, so it will start recovering your disk. But right now we don't want to recover our disk, so you can use this argument. Then if you want to know the MAC address of your machine, so we have a simple command get MAC, and if you type, so you will get the physical address of your machine. Let's say there is a network environment and you're working, or you have a home router and you want to make some restriction to your machine that this router will connect to that machine, right? So you see, in that situation, you must know your physical address. And if you want to know the physical address in a glance, in an instant, so just go to the CMD and type get MAC, because when you want to check this MAC address through the GUI method, you need to open different sort of dialog boxes and you need to go on different windows, and it requires a lot of clicks. But here it requires only your pressing of the keys and you will get your details. Then after that, if you want to know the whole system details, like what drivers are working, what is the network situation, what is your IP, what about your network card, your RAM, your other sort of stuff related to your system. So the command you're going to use is the system info, and here you can see the output is there. The network card number are two cards are attached at the moment. One is a Hyper-V network, second one is a Hyper-V network. Both are the Hyper-V, and there is a availability of hypervisor. Also, you're getting some other details like where's your system, which is your Windows drive, right? And then what is your RAM and how much RAM is being used, and the machine name and the workstation and the Windows version, the OS details. So you're getting plenty of the details that you need to know in fixing things and in dealing with the system issues. So you can easily get those details by typing this system info command. Then in the last, just similar to this command, but this command is used to know about the driver details. So if you want to know how many drivers you have and which driver you need to add, because there are certain features and certain programs, and mostly with the games, some games require some high updated drivers, and you want to know that which driver you need to install and add in your machine. So you could type this driver query, so it can tell you and it will provide you the output with all the details of the driver that are currently working and installed in your machine. And this is too much details to verify and troubleshoot your driver related issue. And if you're not getting that driver installed, so definitely before fixing other issues, you must install the driver, and 50 and 60% chance that your issue would be resolved. So you need to know these commands. And most important thing that I want to add here, that if you are familiar and perfect and good at command line, so you could easily work on the PowerShell. Also, you could easily work on the server core product. And also, if you have any interest in hacking, and if you know about the ethical hacking, and you know how to get the remote session of any machine by doing some hacks, so the command line skill really gonna help you, because there you only find the command line, the black screen with the white text. So it will definitely helpful for you to go in that machine and check the details and transfer file from here to there. So these command line skills really help you to easily work on any remote machine. I'm going to tell you the 6 command so you can manage your user or remove, and you can create password. Even you can know how many users you have in your machine. So let's start with this practice labs machine. So first, let me tell you another command to check the users on the graphical user interface, so you can acknowledge all the users and all the account settings. So what's the command is luser usr mgr dot msc, and if you type this on run or here, type here to search, so you will find this user console. And if you want to go on that window, that manager, user manager, so you need to go with the computer management, and then you're going to select the user section. But with the help of this luser mgr.msc, you will directly get into this user manager console. And if you click to the user, so you will see the details of the user. So this is what the graphical user interface to check your user, right? Now here we're going to check those things with the CMD. So what I'm doing is just typing CMD, and I'm gonna execute it with the administrator privilege. Now here. Now the first command is how to check the users, that how many users you have in the same machine. So the command you're going to use is net user, and press enter. So here you can see there are 3 columns here. These 3 columns tell you all the users you have in this physical machine, not the domain user right now. So here you have admin, guest, administrator, Junaid, user 9, default account, user 7, and some system accounts. Now, if you want to make a user account, if you want to create a user account, so what is the command you're going to use is net space user, then type the username, the exact name on which you're going to create the user account. So let's say I'm going to name it JSS. After a space, put /add and the exact password you're going to use. So I'm making it the password PASSW0RD. Enter. Now the command is executed successfully, and you can check this user account simply by the 2 ways. First, you can run net user command, so it can tell you that you have this new user. And right, we have this JSS user right now. Under the administrator, it tells the account is created successfully. Then if you want to delete any of user accounts, so you have the list on top and you can select any of them, and you will type net space user / and then you're going to put the specific keyword is del is space, and we're going to delete this Junaid account, Junaid, enter. So it is deleted successfully, and let us verify. Now there you go, the account is deleted and it is not in the list right now. So the account is created successfully, then we set the password along with that, and then we learn how to delete any user account by using the CMD. Now then, sometimes in Windows 8, in Windows 10, or might be in Windows 7, the administrator account disable by default. And if you want to check this thing, if you go to this user manager and right click on the administrator and go to the properties, so often you find check on this option, account is disabled. So mostly the local administrator is disabled by default in Windows 10 and Windows 8. So what we does all the time, if we want to enable this account, we just remove the check by using this user manager console. But how we can do this action with the CMD? Now let's look into the next command, and that is to enable administrator account that I already showed you. Sometimes this account get disabled, and I showed this thing in the beginning. So the command is net user space administrator space / active yes. So it can enable the administrator account. And the same way, if you want to disable that account, you could use no, and it will disable your administrator account. If you don't want to change your password and just make your account simple, click to login. So you're going to use the command net user space the username, put the double inverted commas. Let's say I'm going to change my administrator as a passwordless account. So I'm going to type Tarek, and here I'm not pressing any key for the password, just pressing enter, and the command is successful. Now you can easily log in with your administrator account without the need of password. So that's all about this CMD video, and in this video you have seen we've covered 6 different commands that you could use for managing your user accounts, your password settings, to delete your user account. And all these commands really help you when you only have the command line mode, and mostly in the server core product, or while you're doing hacking and you got the remote controls of any system, so you can easily manage things by using the CMD. I'm going to tell you some commands that you can use to hide your files and encrypt your file by typing some commands. And why I'm telling you these commands, because there are other ways to hide your file by using GUI, but there are certain other ways and techniques to show those files. And if I show you in the start, so you could understand what I'm talking about. But with these commands, you can easily hide your file and nobody can access your file until you type another command to show all those files. So let's start this video with the GUI introduction, then we will move to the command line. So here on this Windows 10 machine, let me show you how you can hide your file by using the GUI methods, and how you can easily access those files after hiding. So this is the JSS folder, and if I right click on that file and go to the properties, and in the last section against the attributes, you will find the read only and hidden. If you make check on the hidden, so this file will hide and you no longer access this file and you no longer see this file. But if anybody knows how to see the hidden file, so he or she, that guy, can easily go to the folder options, switch to the view tab, and make check on show hidden file. Then there you go, the file is there to access. So this thing are not helping in hiding the file the way you want to hide. So just show the file and remove the check and make the settings defaults. So you see the view tab, don't hide, don't show this hidden files. So let's move to the command prompt and just do some wonders of the keys and the command and hide those files totally. And it can only be visible once you type the command again. So I'm going to launch the CMD, and why I'm typing here on the address bar of this JSS, because when I'm launching the CMD from this JSS folder, it gonna open with that JSS prompt. So it will locate this prompt on the JSS folder. So if I first run the command dir, so there are 3 files we have. Now the command we're going to use to hide those files is attribute, full form is attribute, and you can search this attribute here in the Google. You will further know about the file attribute command if you type that and press enter. So you will get plenty of information about this command, and this keyword and what are the other arguments you could add with this attribute command. So let's go back, and here what I'm going to do is just type plus h. H means for hidden, then plus R, read only. R for read only means file needs to be open and it needs to be check and click only. And then I'm going to add plus and S for the system. And if I press enter, so you will see, if you go back to the JSS, all files are totally hide. And if you again go to the option and go to the folder option, view, and make check on show hidden files, you won't see those files back because you totally turn off those files for access. So that's the thing I want to show in this video. So if I'm making those setting defaults, so what command really helps you to make those files visible again? So what you only have to do is just type minus, means just changing the sign, you're reverting the signs, and then type the same command. Press enter, and if you go to the JSS, you start able to see those files as they were. So this command really helps you to totally hide your file, and you can only, the person, when you run this command, you can easily make visible those files because nobody knows where you install your file, where you copy your data. So you're the one who knows on which directory you hide something. Now after that, we have another command to encrypt file. And if you want to further research about the encryption, just go to the Google and type encryption. So you will get plenty of details, what is the encryption and how it works. The basic definition you got is to convert information into a code. So encryption is what it converts your file, your text, your any information into unsensible form, in a form that cannot be readable. So for example, if you have a file in your machine and you want to transport that file in somebody's USB or some other media, and you don't want to just share this file with anybody, or there is a chances of recovering back of the data from that USB if you delete the file after copy that file to any machine, you see. So in that situation, you can encrypt your file so it will become an anonymous file, the file that is not useful. And then you can copy that file from your machine to that pen drive or removable drive and paste anywhere else. So it's gonna help you to totally hide the data within that file. So what is the command to do that? Cipher space /E, press enter. Now there you can see it tells that all 3 files are encrypted. And if we go to that folder, you will see this lock on all these 3 files that tells that all these 3 files are totally encrypted. And let's say if you want to decrypt all those files, so you can add D just after the /, and you will start seeing all those files normally. So this command really help you to encrypt your file, and these files can only run on your machine. But if somebody try to copy those files from your machine to another machine or another device, so that person unable to run this file because it is encrypted. And then we have another command to upgrade this encryption system, this encryption firmware that is added, and the command is cipher/rekey, and then you press enter. So it updates your EFS key from files in the folder, because once you encrypt your file, so there are definitely some keys created, because keys, let's say for example, if I open a notepad to explain this concept, what is the key in a little, I'm not going into detail. For example, if I type A equals B, right? And then I type A, and then I ask you what is the answer. So you could reply, you will reply instantly that because A equals to B, so the answer is BB. So A equals to B is the key. So if I send some data in the form of AA, so the person right behind that communication unable to understand, because he doesn't know about how and what is equals to A. So this is the key, and this is a little concept I want to clear in this command line course. This is actually the key. So if you want to update your keys of the files that are encrypted, let's say if I encrypt my file by running this cipher/e command, and definitely there are some keys created to decrypt those files. But in any case, if I want to upgrade those keys, so I run this cipher/rekey command, so it's gonna upgrade all the keys to decrypt those files. So if any sort of guy able to know the keys of your file to decrypt, and when you run this rekey command, it will change all those keys, so the bad guy, the intruder, unable to decrypt your file again. So that's the purpose of those commands. Nonetheless, a command which we use to know about the file detail. Let's say if you have a file and you only able to see the extension of that file, and you don't know that this file is related to which application, so you could run the command S.Ag, and let's say if I have .text extension file, so it will tell me .text equal to text file, which means it is a notepad file. So this command really helps you to know about the parent application and software that is handling that file, and you could run any of the extension against this command association. This ASSOC full form is association, but here we need to write ASSOC so .text and .jpeg, whatever you want to know. Let's say we type JPEG, so it will tell us this is the JPEG file. So this command really helps you to know about the file detail with the extension. If you only have the extension detail and you want to know that which file is it, because these are the simple and basic extension, most people knows about those extension. But in contrast, there are other extensions that are so difficult to understand, to know. So you can simply type .that specific extension, and then this command will tell you that it is related to which extension and which file form. Creating and exporting files through CMD, and in this video we're going to show you how you create, export and read files by using command line CUI. So let's move to the desktop. So here on the Win 10 machine, first we're going to launch the CMD. So I'm going to type CMD on type here to search and run as the administrator, and here you can see it is prompting to the administrator. But what I recommend during this practice, that you should change the prompt to the desktop, because when we are creating files and doing other things, so you will see the output in an instant on the background. So for that, let me type dir to see the content, the other directories we have in this administrator folder. So here we have desktop, so type desktop and directly jump into the desktop. Now here, whatever the file we're going to create will just get located here on the desktop, and you can easily see on the background. So the first command I'm going to show you right now is let's say for example that if you open any service like the task list and you want to know that what sort of tasks are being running on the background of your machine. But here you can see there is plenty of entries and there's a bunch of details, and you want to export all these details in a separate text file. So the command you're gonna type is task list is the same, but you have to add some arguments. So put this greater than sign, then type the file name and the extension and press enter. So it will create a file in an instant, and you can see in the desktop background, and there you go, all the details and all the tasks are being created in a separate text file. Now in the same way, if you want to type any message, any details in the text file and want to export in your current directory, so you're going to type echo, 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 and then you could type any of your message, detail, whatever you want to type. It's like JSS, or might be like type the website name jobskillshare.org, and then put this greater than sign, then add the file name jss1.txt, press enter. So it's gonna create another file that contain the exact text you type here. And if I open this JSS1, so you will see that exact text that you mentioned in the command line is totally exported to that specific file. So this command really help you to send and type any of your detail when you're in the CLI mode and you want to type any sort of message, you want to make any reminder, any memory, any sort of file detail, IP addresses, whatever the stuff you want to export or you want to type in a separate text file. So you can use this command to export your text within a separate text file. Now there is another command that allows you to type multiple lines, and you could go so much in detail while typing things. Like the command is copy con space and mention the file name JSS2. I'm changing 1 to 2 because JSS1 and JSS is already created. So this command will allow you to type plenty of text, and once you stop typing by pressing the Ctrl Z, it won't stop you for typing the text. So here you can type anything like please subscribe our channel, right? And after that, if you want to stop this editing mode, so you can type press Ctrl Z, so it's gonna stop, and then press enter. Once you type Ctrl Z, it will show this Z here on the screen. Then you need to press enter. You need to press enter, and then it will take out from the editor, and the file is created as you want. You can see here on the back, on the desktop, you can see the text is there and the file name is the same. So you have two commands to type your message, your details, your text, but the copy con is allow you to type plenty of lines and multiple sort of words and whatever the bunch of details you want to export within the file name. So you could type here and you can easily find out that file where you create this file. Now after creating those files, if you want to check the content of the file, definitely in the command line you can see the text, but if the command line command prompt is related to your Microsoft OS, so here you can execute commands from the CLI and it will execute on your Microsoft operating system. But as for the text, if you want to see the text here on the CLI of any file, any text file, so you could type type, type, and the file name jss2.txt, and must add the extension. So you will see the content, the text, the thing that you put in that file in the text form, you can see in the CLI in your command prompt. So this command help you to open your text file in your command prompt in a CLI. Now, most of the time we want to create a new text document and we want to create new JPEG file, and we did this steps, these things in so many times, plenty of time to create a new text document by right clicking on the desktop and hover your mouse on new and select this new text document, and it will create a totally new file for us, and then we start typing and copying stuff from the website and other sort of places. So this will create a new file by just doing some GUI based steps. But what if you want to create a new text document kind of file by using the CLI? So the simple command you need to execute is, you're going to type null. Null means new text because you don't want anything written on that file. It would be totally new text document based file. So type null space and just type the name already, because here you need to rename the file, but here in the CLI you are typing the name prior the creation of the file. So type null greater than space gss4.text, add the extension, and you can see the gss4 is created and it's totally clean, a new text file. In the same way you can create other extension based file, like for example if you want to create HTML new file, so you could name gss5.html. You must be familiar with the extension while using this command, and you can see here new file is created. Or you can type png and add 6, so it's going to create a png file. So what you are just covering here is that by using this command you can create a new file. In most of the time we in the desktop, in the GUI environment, we create new text document and then we start copying stuff and typing other details quickly. So by using the command line you can create these new files by typing these command with those argument and with the extension. And the last, if you want to execute any text file, if you want to run any text file or any other file on your OS by using the CLI, because here on top I show you if you want to open any file in a CLI, like I showed this command type gss2.text. So what this command did, it just opened the text, it orient the text on your CLI. But what if you want to open it in that specific application in a GUI way, in a GUI? So what you have to do is just type the file name and press enter. So it's going to execute the file and open it in an application. For example, you have pane file, so it's going to open that pane file in that. For example, we have gss5.html, and if I press enter, so it's going to open it on the Microsoft Edge or whatever the browser you're using in your machine. So this command will open the file on that specific application from which this file is originated. And if you type space and the file name with the extension, so you will see the text on the CLI. So this is a little difference to manage your disk. And if you use the GUI, so it requires a lot of clicks and a lot of windows to open, but in the command line you only need to type some commands and the magic is on. So let's move to the Windows 10 machine. Now here on the Windows 10, let me show you, if you use the GUI and you want to manage your disk with the graphical user interface, so which menus and which console you need to open. If you right click on the start window, and there you will find the disk management console. So if you go there, so it requires a lot of clicks and a lot of options to select. But if you want to do your work directly with the commands and in the quick way, so you could run command prompt, and as I click to type here to search, I will get the command prompt automatically. So right click on the command prompt and run as the administrator. So here in this test, I'm going to show you how you will format your USB, your pen drive, and how could you label that drive, and how could you manage that drive by using the commands. So the first command we're going to execute and run here is a disk pod, and this command actually took you to the disk management environment. And here there are, after getting in the disk pod command, you have only few commands related to the disk management you could run here. You cannot run all the commands here after get in the disk pod environment. So here, if you want to check the number of disks you have, so you will run the same command that we covered previously in the task list disk. So it will show you the number of disks you have, and the disk 0 is a 20 gigs. That's our primary disk that contain the operating system. And the disk 1 is what? Is the removable drive. It is the USB. And let me show you in the GUI. If you click to the File Explorer and click to this PC, this is the USB that I attach for this specific video to show you how to format and label that disk. Now, after typing this command, you have another command to select the specific disk, and the command is select disk 1, and it depends on the number of the disk you want to select. So you could write that same number here. So I want to select the disk 1, and now here the disk 1 is selected. Now we're going to run a command clean to just do a quick check over that disk. And after cleaning that disk, once we get this successful message from the command line that the disk is clean, then we're going to create a primary partition of that disk. And for that, we're going to run the command create primary partition, enter. So this is the command range we have. And as you can see that I misplaced the name, the exact key, like create partition primary is the exact command, and I run create primary partition. So it will tell us that you need to put that specific command word before that one. So we need to add create partition primary, press enter, and there you go. You get the message that the primary partition is successfully created. Now we're going to select the partition 1. So the command is select partition 1. So after creating the partition, we just in the selection of that specific partition, and now we're going to do other stuff, and the stuff is to format. And this is the main part of this video, that how you could format your partition, your removable drive, your pen drive with the command line. So the command is format fs file system equal ntfs, and then space add the keyword quick. So it will do this whole part quickly, but take a little time. But after all, in compared to the normal format, it does this work quickly as compared. Now there you go. It is 100% complete and formatted. Now it's time to active this specific drive, and it is now marked as active, and then we're going to assign that partition, and there you go, it is attached and now in a working position. But here you can see it's still this drive don't have any name. So after assigning, we need to exit from the disk pod by just simply typing exit, and if we go to the GUI, we're going to find that we have F drive, the USB, but it doesn't contain the label. So to name it, to make a label on that drive, we just simply type label and the drive letter F. Now there's a mode open for you, and you can type any of the names. So I'm going to name it JSS and then press enter. So the label is changed to JSS, and you could verify here too that the name is changed to JSS from the simple F drive. So by the help of these commands, you can format your pen drive, you can simply select, you can change the label, you can clean your disk, and it is actually the disk management commands all Now the question is, if you want to make your USB, your pen drive with a bootable USB for Windows operating system, so the process is simple. Just follow all the same commands as I did, and then mount the ISO on your computer, on your any storage, and then copy all the content of that ISO in the same USB, in the same pen drive, and it will become a bootable USB for Windows installation. We have the command tree, shutdown, history, so we will cover those commands that can already help you to check the previous command you executed, and the command related to check the whole directory of any drive or any folder. So without any wasting time, let's quickly move to the Windows 10 machine. Here, let me run the CMD with the administrator privilege. So it's simple as you know. Right click on the CMD and run as admin. Now there on the CMD, the first command we're going to execute here is a tree. So let's say, for example, if you want to check the folder, the directories, and the subdirectory, because you know in any of your folder you also create some other folders, and even with the file, when you install any program, any application into your machine, it also created folders, then the subfolders, and that subfolders contains your executable files. So let's say if I type dir under this administrator folder, you could see these folders, but definitely there are some other subfolders that are in that folder. So let's say, for example, if you want to check any directory or any executable file and you are guessing that this might be here in that main folder, and you're not sure about the subfolder or the exact location of that file, so the command tree will help you to know this, and you just only type tree and press enter. So there you can see it is providing you the subfolder detail within this administrator folder. Let's say you wanna know about the whole directories having in your program files or in your Windows. So which command you're going to use? Tree. So what it will does, it will collect every file, every subfolder, and display to you in a form of tree, that in which folder there's a subfolder and then other folders, and then it will show you that which executable file and which file is located and at which subfolder and which is originated with that specific folder. And you can easily figure out by using this tree command. And as you can see here, that it covers every folder of your C drive and provide us the file locations and all the structure, you could say, and this is the tree what we call. So in this way, you could easily use this command to know about the directories you have in your any folder or in any drive. Now after that, we have another command, and the command is simple, date. If you want to change the date of your system, if you feeling that the date is changed and it's not correct, so you can change, and if the dates is already correct and you don't want to change, so simply copy that provided date under this new provided section, so it will set this new date as the current date. And in this way, we have a similar command, time. So if you feel that the time is not correct on your system, so you could change. Otherwise, if the time is right and really on your standard time base, so you could go with that. So the time is changing that way, because most of the time when you're using your browsers, and if the date and time is not correct, they start providing error and they stop working, and the error is shown like that please must change your time and set according to your standard time, then this browser or internet will work. So in such situation, you got stuck and you got in that mess where to open the time settings, and you could open control panel, and it will take time to reach on that specific window or GUI option. But here in the CMD, you have basic commands, date and time, and in this way you would easily set the time and just update your date and time settings. So then after we have another command to check the history of previously executed command. Let's say you run a lot of commands and somehow you missed any command, or you want to see the CMD, that which command I used before that command and that sort of things, and you want to be sure about all the commands that you executed or run. So there's a command /history, press enter, so it can list for you all the command you want to see, you want to write down, you want to notice that all such commands that you executed will be displayed in a form of list, and you could easily watch. And if you're creating any document, you're preparing any sort of file, any history of the commands, so you can prepare from that command. So it will help you to track your history of the commands that you executed on your CMD. After that, we have another command. This is quite different and typical because this command will shut down this machine. So it is related to turn off and power off the system. But there is some argument that you can add that make it more logical and more helpful. So the command is shut down, and if you press shutdown -s, so this definitely means that you want to shut down your machine. But there is another argument you could add here is -t. So if you add this -t, it will allow you to add seconds, that after what seconds you want to shut down your machine. So you can add, if you doesn't want to add any seconds, you just want a quick shutdown and in an instant, so you can type 00. So it will take no time to shut down your machine. But if you have planned something or you're leaving for something and the required timing for that installation, let's say for example you're deploying a software and it is providing the estimated time for that deployment, it is about 10 or 20 minutes, and you know how much seconds in the 10 and 20 minutes. So then you can easily add some more time considering that estimated time and provide that seconds here in the form of seconds, second unit. Then what will happen after that time reach, the machine will go automatically shut down, and that's the best way to shut down your machine when you off from your desk, when you are not on your desk and you feel that I won't come on that specific time. So once this whole deployment, whole process is done, my machine is supposed to be shut down. So in such cases, you can use this command and add the timing to automatically shut down your machine. I'm not going to do that because, this will shut down my machine. And in the same way, if you add -r, so it will restart your machine. In the same way, if you add time, T for time, and provide some seconds for restart, so it will do the same, but it won't shut down your machine, it will restart your machine. So in this video, I'm going to cover some commands that help you to check scheduled tasks as well as your shared files. And most of the time you share any folder and just you want to check that how many users at the real time using that file have accessed the file. So we have some commands through you can easily monitor the status that how many users at the real time are accessing that specific file. So let's move to the Windows environment. Now here let's run the CMD with the administrator privilege, as you know. So here on the command prompt, the first command we're going to show here is check NTFS. So what's new in it? Most of the time you use the command chkdsk to check this, and it is very helpful and used so many times, and most of the IT personnel are known to that command. But there is another command where you're just changing this dsk to NTFS. So actually this command checks this file system, the NTFS file system. So the command is chk NTFS, enter. So here the thing you need to add after this command, because in the CHK DSK you mostly provide the drive letter. So in the same way you have to provide the drive letter, and this time it would be C for the testing purpose. And here you can see CHK NTFS space C colon. So it is telling that this NTFS file system is correct and it's not dirty. So the dirty means that it is working correctly and there is no any sort of issue and error regarding this file system on the C. So how you can see that here, how this output in the control panel. So we have to access the control panel to fix those things, even to show. And here you can see there are plenty of tasks here that are